A creepy outing may just be what you need to get into the Halloween spirit. So if so, the Death in New York tour has you covered. The morbid excursion dives into facts about the city's history of death, disease, and burials as it snakes through lower Manhattan. And there's a lot.
I know, and I have to say, this is my favorite holiday. Joining us now is Krombie, who founded the tour in 2022 to tell us what is in store for the curious. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so talk to us about how this tour got started and how I had just found out about it right now, because I would have been going on it every single year.
It came out of the pandemic because I wrote a book called Death in New York, because COVID got me thinking about what did New York do before with regards to epidemics and sanitation and burying the dead, when it's just a cluster of islands with the exception of the Bronx.
Yeah. So what happened then? So we got a lot of dead people here?
So I wrote a book that delves into all aspects of death. It's not about grief.
Okay.
There's no ghosts.
Okay.
So it's changes in legislation. It's the traditions that immigrants brought with regards to death. And then I thought, why don't I turn this into a walking tour?
I love it. I mean, and I'm sure you got a lot of interest into it. So give us the highlights of this tour. What are you showing, and what are some of the highlights?
So there's two versions. There's so the company is called Pure Finder New York. So there's several tours. There's Death in New York, which is kind of long form, 2 hours 45 minutes. There's an abridged evening tour called Death in New York Evening Tour, which is 1 hour and 45 minutes, and it's basically a walk through Manhattan. I've had people who've said, I'm born and bred in Manhattan and didn't know that was there, or didn't know the significance of that. So we look at cemeteries. We talk about the indigenous burial traditions, also the history of execution, capital punishment, why public executions ended, and City Hall Park in particular. That's one of the places that we go to. There's a ridiculous amount of history there.
And on one of your tours, there was a body part spotted?
Yeah, that was that was fairly recently, because there's a place colloquially known as Funeral Row in Chinatown.
On Mulberry Street, somewhere near there?
So that was kind of the 5 Points area, and then when Italians started arriving and it became Little Italy, there was one guy called Carlo Bacigalupo who started opening the original funeral parlors in that area. But because Little Italy got smaller, Chinatown got bigger, those businesses changed hands. So the southern end of Mulberry Street, it's Funeral Row. So it's funeral homes, it's funeral supplies, it's funeral florists.
Wow. So let me ask you this, though. If there's so many people that have lived and died here in New York, there has to be some significance to a lot of people dying at a particular place, which some would say would be haunted. What would be that place for you?
That's the one thing I don't do. There's so many ghost tours and really good tours in New York City. But it's like whenever I go on a ghost tour, I'm like, just give me the facts. So I don't do any
Well, what about
haunted
facts
stuff.
maybe where most people have died, maybe, in New York? A specific place?
That would be the epidemics, but because there were so many burial prohibitions, and burial prohibitions were because of the epidemics, but also because of the advancing grid. And that's why most people are buried there are more dead in Queens, particularly Queens and Brooklyn, kind of on that border, it's called the Cemetery Belt, than there are living. And that started from the 1840s, so it's called the Cemetery Belt. But there is a space issue, which is another thing I tackle in the book, changes in legislation, trying to find new ways of disposing of the dead.
Wow. Very interesting. I mean, you kind of figure the history behind it. I'm sold. Really quick, if anyone wants to join you on the tour, because Halloween is your time to shine, where can they sign up?
Yeah, so the tour company, it's not just me. So I write all the tours, I create them. There's not just me, there's a couple of other guides. But the company is Pure Finder New York. So that's the website.
And your book as well?
That's Death in New York as well. Available in all good bookstores.
I love that. Well, I'm glad that we're all still living in New York.
Yeah, and in a lit up area too. I don't like the dark.
We so appreciate you being here with us and shedding some light on something so interesting.
Thank you.